I was telling you that me and Dude was working on the staff side. I had been working on the staff side for about 6 years at the time. So basically, it was just that the people were used to seeing me, like, and they don't really, of course, they don't really trust a lot of people to cook their food. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, so they was just used to seeing me, and you know what I mean? I had been doing it for a while, and Dude had just started working over there, and they wasn't giving them as much play as they was giving me. So, like I say, we had started having words, and of course, dudes in his ear, dudes in my ear. You know what I mean? I really won't trip about it because I understood what it was. It's just a job, bro. Relax. You know what I mean? I cook better than you. You know what I mean? The people I got more rapport with the people than you. I ain't trying to take your job. I ain't trying to take your position. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. They do the same thing to me with dudes that been working longer than me. You know what I mean? But if that could have been explained to them, then probably the situation would have never happened. But pride got in the way. You know what I mean? And when it was and the crazy thing is, the jump happened we had a blizzard that year. It was a blizzard in 2015, and it happened. It happened 3 o'clock in the morning on the night that the blizzard started, and that was the worst part of the whole thing. So anyway, they had called us to work, and we in the kitchen. I'm getting the stuff ready to prep my food so I can start cooking. You know what I mean? And I had walked inside the bread box and grabbed a rack of bread so I could take it over there to the staff side. I ain't paying dude no attention. You know what I mean? I wasn't even thinking about it. We hadn't said nothing to each other that morning. You know what I mean? But I did see him looking at me. It's kind of funny, but I wasn't paying him no mind. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking about him running up on me. Of course. So anyway, when I bent over to grab the rack of bread, I felt him hit me. He hit me in my side. So when I turned around, I spent around on him, and I squared off on him. And my homeboy Dingo was in there. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Bro, what's up?" I was like, "No, I got him." I said, he was like, "You sure, man?" I'm never look at his hand. I don't even realize that he done stabbed me. So I squared off on him. Dingo was like, "Man, you sure you got?" I was like, "Man, I got him, bro. Step out." You know what I mean? He was like, "All right." He walked out. So it was me, him, and a dude named Hassan in there. So I'm fighting. I'm talking about Sean. I'm tearing him up, but he hitting me in my side. And I'm wondering why he keep punching me in my side. And I don't feel nothing. I'm like, this dude can't fight. You know what I mean? So he grabbed me. We touching a little bit. You know what I mean? I get him up off him. I got him. So well, you distract me. So we tussle a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm wrestling with him. You know what I mean? And I break free from him. You know what I mean? But I'm on top of him because I don't push. We don't fell on the top of the bread. I don't roll over on top of him. You know what I mean? And I'm hitting him. Boom, 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 boom. So he was telling Hassan, he was like, "Hassan, get him off me, get him off me." So Hassan was like, "No, man, y'all wreck. You go ahead. You know what I mean? You got it, you got it." So I get up anyway because I like to stand up. Man, when we stand up, bro, I hit him one time and knocked him slam out. When I reached down to grab him again, I looked down. We had on all white in the kitchen. You wear all white scrubs. My entire front of my clothes is red. Ain't nothing. I don't see nothing white from the collar of my shirt to the hem of my pants. Everything is red. So I'm like, what, he stabbed me? I look in his eye, look down. He got a knife. I was like, what? This nigga got a knife? This nigga stabbed me. So I lift my shirt up. I see the two puncture wounds. He had stabbed me 3 times. He stabbed me in my intestines. He had stabbed me in my stomach, and he had stabbed me in my shoulder. I see the two puncture wounds where he stabbed me in my stomach and my intestines. They leaking real bad. You know what I mean? And it's coming out so fast. It ain't even red. It's like a dark purple, like almost bluish color. I was like, oh, this nigga stabbed. So I walk out the joint. I go get the boat. They got these boat paddles that they be stirring the food with. They all metal. I'm gonna kill him. I was like, man, this nigga stabbed. I'm gonna kill him. You know what I mean? But I feel myself getting weak. Like my body's starting to calm down, and I'm losing too much blood. Like I'm starting to get dizzy, my eyes blinking in and out. I can't. So when I walked back in there, they grabbed. They was like, Tim, don't. It was like, man, don't do it, man. I was like, man, he tried to take my life, bro. This man tried to kill me, man. I'm crying. I'm like, bro. I said, man, I got the hand, man. He's still unconscious. He's still unconscious, and I wouldn't let nobody take the knife out of his hand. I said, no, don't take the knife out of his hand. Leave the knife in his hand. When they found him, I wanted to see him. I want them to see him with that knife in his hand, so they can understand why I did what I did. But like I say, I'm starting to get weak. I'm stagged. I can't stand up straight. You know what I mean? I'm starting to lean over. I was like, man, well, I'm losing too much blood. So I walked back. I dropped it. They take the brake pedal from me. I walked back out the box. I walked towards the office. I cannot think of it's crazy because I always think of the CO name. I can't think of it now. He was an old white dude, man. But making long, whatever his name was, anyway. I don't want to say his name anyway. But I went to the CO, so I'm like, I'm gonna just say his name, Pelham. I'm like, Pelham, man, look, man, I need to go to medical. I'm covered in blood. I'm talking about, and he just froze. He's just staring at me. And I'm like, yo, I'm waving my hand in front of him. He ain't blinking or nothing. I'm like, yo, I need to go to medical. He ain't answering me or nothing. I was like, you hear me? I said, man, you tripping. I just walked off. You know what I mean? I walked off from him. So the food supervisor see me. She starts screaming. Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. So I got so much blood in my boots. My feet is sloshing around in the boots, in the blood. I walked through, like I said, I walked through the staff side door. And I went to the staff side doors. It's 3 doors. You got they lead into the administration building, but the infirmary is in the administration building. And I done been down. I know straight down the hallway on the other side of the door, the infirmary is right there. You know what I mean? So I pressed the button. They didn't ask who I was. They just opened the door. So I walked down the hallway. I got to the other door. I pressed the button. They opened the door. I'm standing in front of the infirmary. So I hit the button and I walked into the infirmary, and the police and the nurse was looking at me like, oh my God, what is wrong? I was like, man, I need to go to the hospital. I said, I've been stabbed. You know what I mean? I sit down on the floor, right in front of the little desk that they got, the little main desk that they got. I sit on the floor and I put my back against the little desk, and I'm breathing. You know what I mean? So now my adrenaline is starting to calm down, and the worst thing out of that whole entire thing is I didn't realize, like, we got acid in our stomachs, and that's a real acid. When that stuff came out of my stomach, man, it burns so bad. I started hollering. I'm really screaming, ah, ah. So I lay down on the floor. But when the nurse came to check me, man, this how I know God was with me. I had stopped bleeding. They thought I was bleeding internally because there wasn't no more blood coming out. So they was like, well, you got to be bleeding internally. So they called, like I say, this is during a blizzard. So they called the hospital. The hospital, they sent an ambulance to the place. It took probably like 45 minutes for the ambulance to come. So like they said, the whole time I'm waiting on the ambulance, I'm laying on the floor in the infirmary, and they working on me, you know what I mean? I'm laying there, and the whole time what I'm doing, I'm praying because I feel like I ain't gonna make it. I'm praying to God, you know what I mean? I got my eyes closed. I'm talking to God like, Lord, you know what I mean? I might be coming to you. I pray that you forgive me for all the things that I've done wrong. Hold on for a minute, man. My emotions get took. And I tell God, I say, I've done a lot of things in my life. I've embarrassed my family. I've embarrassed my mama. And I'm sorry. And I pray that you forgive me for all the things that I've done. For all the things that I've done to people. Because I felt like I was going to. I kept getting weaker. And I felt like I wasn't going to make it. I couldn't keep my eyes open. So when the ambulance get there, they put me in a wheelchair. They rolled me out to the ambulance. And the dude that was pushing me through the snow, I started talking to him. He was an officer. And he was crying. I didn't even know the guy. He was crying. And I was telling him, I was like, look, if I don't come back, could you please tell them to tell my mother
And my family said, I'm sorry, and I love them very much. Uh, so they get me to the ambulance. They get me in the ambulance. The ambulance people was working up. I need a minute, Sean. Hold on.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. So they get me to the ambulance. They put me in the ambulance, but we can't leave because the van that the officers need to get in is buried in the snow, and they gotta bury it out the snow. It took them probably another 45 minutes to get the van out the snow, and they couldn't send the helicopter because it was snowing so bad. So I didn't even know if I was gonna make it to the hospital or not. So eventually it took them about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours to get me to the hospital. When I get to the hospital, I'm laying in the little observation room with like six correctional officers around me. So they talking, and they're prepping me to go to get X-rays. So I kept smelling feces. And I'm like, yo, is somebody farting? Like, what is that smell? Why I keep smelling feces? They was like, no, that's you. I was like, what you mean? It was like, man, you got a hole in your intestines and a hole in your stomach. It's like, we prepping you to get X-rays, and then we prepping you for surgery. I was like, and they was like, we gotta get, and we waiting on the doctor to get to the hospital. Cause like I said, it was probably like 5 in the morning. He wasn't even no really sad there. You know what the crazy thing was? You remember Thomasine?
Y- Yeah.
That's Ronnie, our cousin Ronnie's sister. She
Right.
was the head nurse there. I didn't even know she was the head nurse there. Her boyfriend worked there too. And she walked in the room. And she looked at me. She was like, Tim. I was like, hey, Tom, how you doing? She was like, what happened? I was like, man, I got stabbed. She was like, yeah, I'm reading the chart now. She was like, we got to get you in surgery ASAP to close these holes up. So when the doctor finally got there, he was like, look, I'm going to put you under, and I'm going to fix your stomach. And then when, um, I'm going to wake you up, and then I'm going to look at your intestines. And I'm gonna try. He said, I'm gonna try to close the hole. So either you gonna wake up with a colostomy bag or you're not. And I was like, please, if you can, do the best that you can. I don't want no colostomy bag. So he was like, I'm gonna do the best that I can. So but like I say, by this time I'm starting to get weaker again. I'm barely keeping my eyes open. I flatline. They bring me back. They say I flatline again. So they rushed me into surgery. I woke up probably like 2 days later. They was like, look, we did the surgery. The first thing I checked for was the colostomy bag. I didn't have no colostomy bag. I was happy about that. I was thankful for that. But now I had to work on getting myself back together because I had cut my whole stomach open. I had to go through physical therapy to learn how to walk, standing straight up again. It took me probably probably a little over a month to learn how to walk, standing straight up, because I used to walk with my bent over because of the surgery that I had on my stomach. Man, it was a lot, you know. The dude that had did it, I wouldn't even tell him who did it. I never testified against him. I didn't even tell the people that he stabbed me. I just told the people I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Somebody came up behind me. I don't know who it was. I was trying. I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to get him out the hole because I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill him bad. I wanted to kill him so bad because he had to stab me, bro. All you had to do, I see, we could have fought. I can take my wins, I can take my losses. But at the end of the day, I understand self-preservation. I understand you ain't gonna let no man do nothing to you. You're gonna do whatever you gotta do to protect yourself. But this man tried to take my life. all over a fucking job, bro. And I couldn't understand that. It was just a fucking job. And there's so many rumors that went around after that. Some dudes that said that I had told the man to suck my dick or kiss my ass. I don't even invite people to my private parts. I've never ever told a man, invited a man to my private parts. That was one of the first things I learned when I came to prison. Don't invite a man to your private parts unless you in that type of game. And I ain't in that type of game, so I don't do stuff like that. It was so many rumors, bro. I had to end up stopping the war. It was a war that was about to start between Tidewater and Rich. And I had to end up telling them dudes like, look, man, that's between me and him, bro. Please don't go out here and don't start nothing until I come out of medical. I said everything is dead until I come out of medical. When I came out of medical, they had released him from the jail. He wouldn't come out of jail, and I don't blame him because I was waiting on Sean. I swear I was waiting on. I was gonna kill him, man. And he wouldn't come out of jail. The police that came to me, and they was like, "Man, he a punk. He a punk. We released him. He won't come out." And I told her, I said, "Would you come out? Well, you got somebody out here waiting on you. You ain't got no weapon when you coming out the hole." And listen, I end up carrying until I left that place. I carried the same knife that he stabbed me with. It was a butter knife. It was a metal butter knife that somebody had sharpened down. And it was so crazy, man. I used to look at it. The crazy thing is when you can slice with it. You didn't have to stab with it. It had these metal ridges on it. You know what I mean? That knife was insane. I ended up carrying that knife. That same somebody gave it to me when I got out. When I came out of medical. Somebody they handed it to me. It was like, bro, this is the same knife that you got stabbed with, bro. Here, take this. I used to look at that knife every night, bro. Like, man, this almost took my life, man. And it changed me. I had never dealt with anxiety or I had never had anxiety attacks or panic attacks. Right now, I still suffer from panic attacks and anxiety attacks. I got to take medication for it. I've been taking medication for it for 11 years now. Bro, I used to thought that was some type of white people thing. I used to joke with the girl, like, it was the girl I used to talk to, and she used to have panic attacks. And I used to be like, man, that's white people stuff. Black people don't have panic attacks. But I never knew how serious that stuff was until I started having them, bro. And I still suffer from them, bro. But I ended up getting better, man. And it changed me a lot, bro. It slowed me down, but it made me more serious. And it made me think about life more. Just when I started thinking about time and how much time.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I want to get out of here. I want to die here. I want a chance to be able to enjoy my life so much outside of this prison ball. I don't want to die here. And it's all I can think about. It's all I think about is getting out of here, man, and enjoying some part of my life. But man, it was a life-changing experience, bro. I pray don't nobody ever had to go through that, bro. It's still rough on me. I still suffer from that stuff, bro. Hey, look, we come back out after count too. I'm gonna call you back again after count.
Okay. Let the phone hang up. Don't hang up.
Yeah.
Let the phone hang up.
Thank you for using GTL.